Welcome to the Warriors Haven podcast, the place where discipline meets purpose and everyday people become unstoppable. I'm your host, Jaisha Sutherland, a retired Army drill sergeant, single mom, and the founder of the Warriors Haven. Around here, we talk fitness, mindset, and the mission of building a stronger you, mentally, physically, and financially. Because this isn't just about the gym. It's about life, leadership, and living on your terms. So gear up, lock in, and let's step into the haven where warriors are made. Hey friends, welcome to this new episode on the Warriors Haven. I am so excited for this special episode. I have a special guest with me joining for hydration. So stick around, listen to this entire episode because I think the information that we will gain from this special edition will be very beneficial for everyone in our world. So friends, let's dive in. Most people think they have an energy problem. Let me tell you, they don't. They have an input problem. They're tired. They're inflamed. They can't focus. They're drinking water all day, which tells me one thing. Not all hydration is good hydration. Today, we're breaking down what most people don't know about water, energy, recovery, and why your body might still be running on empty. Who's excited? Today, joining me, I have Kim from Project Health, and Kim specializes in something most people overlook, but can't out-supplement: water, specifically Kangen water and hydration quality. So, Kim, thank you so much for joining me on this episode.
Thank you so much to the Warriors Haven and the amazing Jay for having me. Again, I am Kim. I help people create freedom-based businesses that align with who they are and the life they actually want to live. And for me, this whole journey started with water, but it's become so much more about helping others find purpose, wealth, and energy in a way that feels real and sustainable. So I'm super excited to get into this today.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. Thank you so much, friend. I think we're seriously going to blow people's mind with this episode because I actually just found out about the Kangen water probably 2 months ago. I was actually on a call with a mentor, and she actually kind of dove just briefly into it, and it just captivated my attention. And I was like, what is that? Because, as an athlete, dealing with athletes, dealing with the youth here in my community, and, hydration and electrolytes, and that's just something that's implemented in my business. And of course, being a former veteran and retired Army and a drill sergeant, here I think I'm doing something amazing with now drinking spring water and meeting you at Daniel G's event in Miami a couple of weeks ago, and you just kind of diving into kind of explaining a little bit of the scientifics behind Kangen water. And then the videos you sent me, I was blown away because we don't know about this. And so I'm just so grateful, so thankful to have you on the episode to kind of really dive in and just kind of go a little bit deeper for my audience and everyone listening around the world on the Kangen water and its specialty, and then of course a little bit about you. So Kim, let's seriously dive in. Explain to me Kangen water like you're talking to a busy mom or a burnt out entrepreneur with brain fog, because we deal with that so much. And what is it, and how is it exactly different from regular water?
Okay, so think of Kangen water as upgraded hydration. It's still water, but it's restructured at a molecular level to be more bioavailable, meaning that your body can actually absorb it and use it more effectively. With tap water or bottled water, it's usually acidic, oxidized, and the water itself is made of larger clusters of molecules that your cells have to work harder to break down. That's why you can drink a liter and still feel dehydrated. Kangen water is created through a process called electrolysis, where the water passes through medical grade titanium plates and splits the water into two streams, one alkaline and antioxidant rich, and one acidic. The alkaline stream, that's the Kangen water, is packed with molecular hydrogen, which acts as a powerful antioxidant and helps neutralize free radicals in the body. So rather than just hydrating you, it's helping energize your cells, reducing oxidative stress, and improves how efficiently your body functions, especially your brain and digestion. So in simple terms, it's not about drinking more water. It's about drinking water your body can actually use.
Wow. Okay, so I know the Kangen comes in a machine. Can you kind of explain a little bit physically what that machine, real brief, does to the water?
Yeah, for sure. The machine takes your regular tap water, it filters out chlorine and impurities, and then runs it through this process called electrolysis. That's where the magic happens. It uses these platinum-coated titanium plates and an electrical charge to separate the water into two parts. One side becomes hydrogen-rich alkaline water, and the other side becomes oxygen-rich acidic water. That charge doesn't add anything to the water artificially. It just restructures the water molecules. Think of it like shaking up a snow globe so the particles rearrange into something lighter and faster. That's why you'll often notice it tastes smoother and it feels softer.
Wow. Oh, I love that analogy of the snow globe because I remember being a kid just going around the store and just shaking it up just to see what it did. So that is so cool. Like, thank you for painting that picture in my brain and everybody else's brain that's listening to this episode. So, friends, because if people really don't understand how something works, they either blindly believe it or immediately dismiss it. So this is a very special episode, guys, that I really, am just so grateful again to have Kim on explaining this for us. And now the challenge of the belief that's actually hurting people. So Kim, why can someone drink a gallon of water a day and still feel exhausted? I know you kind of touched on it a little bit in that little first part there, but can you kind of dive in just a little bit more for me?
For sure. This blows people's minds because we've been told forever, just drink more water. But the truth is, it's not about how much water you drink, it's how well your body can use it. So most regular water, especially tap and bottled, is what we call dead water. It's been filtered, processed, stripped of its natural structure and its charge. So even though you're chugging a gallon, your cells aren't actually absorbing it. Kangen water, on the other hand, because of the process of electrolysis, has microclusters and carries an electrical charge that your cells can recognize. So instead of just flushing through your system, it actually hydrates inside the cell, and that's where the energy is made.
Wow. I know for me, that is like exactly what my body needs. I'm a runner, and I have so many battle buddies and so many veterans and retirees that still are out here hitting the pavement and running. So, that's so important that we're not just drinking water to drink water, but we need it to actually go to the source that we really need it at. So, Kim, people hear alkaline and think it magically fixes everything. What does the body actually regulate when it comes to pH, and what does water realistically influence? Can you kind of share a little bit on that?
For sure, yeah. So this is super important because people hear the word alkaline and instantly think, oh, it'll balance my body. But here's the truth. Your body is already an absolute genius at keeping itself in a pH balance. Your blood has to stay around 7.35 to 7.45, and your body will do whatever it takes to keep it there. If it goes outside of that range, you're in a medical emergency. So Drinking Kangen water or drinking alkaline water isn't changing your blood pH. Your kidneys and your lungs handle that automatically. What Kangen water or ionized water does do is influence the environment that your cells live in. When your water is hydrogen rich and less oxidizing, it helps reduce the stress on your cells, which support better detox, hydration, and recovery. So instead of trying to change your blood, think of it like you're giving your body the easiest environment to stay balanced on its own.
Oh, that's fire. You know what? I need people to rewind and then hear that again and then continue listening to this episode. That was fire. So let me ask you what people never ask, but they probably should. What's actually in most people's water and what should they be paying attention to?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's the most important question of the day. Most of us assume our tap water is clean because it's regulated, but regulation just means it's within limits, not that it's optimal for your health. Typical tap water can contain chlorine, fluoride, heavy metals like lead or copper from old pipes, residual pharmaceuticals, microplastics, and even pesticides. So it still like meets quote end quote safety standards, but those standards were written decades ago. So while the water won't kill you, it's definitely not helping your body thrive. So what I tell people is like, don't panic, just get curious and check your local water report. It's all public information, and look at what is actually in your area's supply. Once you know, you can make a smarter choice about filtration and upgrades.
Wow, wow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and follow up on that real quick. What contaminants matter most in real life, in your expertise and what you see in your skill set?
Yeah, great question. In real life, the big ones to pay attention to are chlorine and chloramines, and they're used to disinfect, but they're harsh oxidizers. They dry out your skin, your hair, and can really mess with your gut bacteria. Fluoride, which is super controversial, there's some benefit for your teeth, but it's a neurotoxin in higher doses and it accumulates in your body over time. Heavy metals, lead, copper, arsenic, these long-term toxins that don't expel easy. And residual pharmaceuticals and microplastics. These are the new ones that we're just starting to understand, but they act like endocrine disruptors and they throw off your hormone balance. So again, none of this is meant to scare people. It's just about awareness. And when you know what you're actually dealing with, you can make a more educated decision about the water that you drink.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And I think that's the whole reason why we're even together on this podcast episode and this special edition is literally just to bring the knowledge and the education, and people can then decide and make the best decision for themselves, for their family, for their household. Our job is just to get out into the world and communicate what we know, our skill sets and our area of expertise. So then people can go out into the world with the most educated form of information that they now know to make the most executive decision that's best for them and their family. So Kim, let's literally dive in and talk about energy, which is my favorite. That's my skill set. That's what I absolutely love. What's the connection between hydration quality and performance, recovery, and fatigue?
Yeah, I feel this because most people say they're tired and it's not actually a lack of sleep. It's a lack of cellular hydration. And the thing is that like every single process in your body, from your brain function to muscle repair to hormone production, happens with water. Your cells are like little batteries, and the water is the conductor that lets the energy flow. When your water is poor quality, meaning it's acidic, oxidized, or full of all that junk, those cells lose their electrical efficiency. They can't exchange nutrients or flush waste properly. So you end up with fatigue, brain fog, slower recovery, all the things that people chalk up to just getting older. So high quality, hydrogen rich water changes that because it's antioxidant, microclustered, and electrically active. It actually helps your mitochondria produce energy more efficiently.
Oh, wow. I mean, that is just mind blowing. So let me ask you a follow-up question. What do active people notice first when hydration improves?
It's definitely one of three things: more stamina, faster recovery, or clearer focus. For athletes, it's like less muscle soreness, fewer cramps, better endurance. And then think about an entrepreneur or a busy mom. It's mental, clearer thinking, less 3 p.m. crash, less caffeine dependency. Even things like your skin glowing or feeling better digestion are early signs, because those are the systems that rely on hydration to detox efficiently. Again, it's not about drinking more water. It's about water that your body can actually use. And once you experience that deep hydration, you realize how thirsty your cells actually were.
Wow, wow. Here, I tell all my friends, right? I think I'm doing something great by drinking the spring water and then adding a pinch of sea salt. And I'm like, I'm doing great. I'm feeling the difference. And then really finding out about the Kangen water and realizing I'm not even touching the tip of the needle is absolutely fascinating. So again, friends listening to this episode, I really want you guys to take in all of this knowledge and information and understand the difference, which is why we labeled this episode, Your Hydration is Probably Lying to You. And as you guys continue to listen, you guys are, I guess, putting two and two together on why we titled it this. So, friends, if your input sucks, your outputs will too. And Kim literally just explained to us literally how that happens. So water is an input, and not just any water. So our job is to protect one another, educate one another. So Kim, who should not blindly jump into high pH or specialty water routines? Can you kind of explain a little bit, maybe who not?
Yeah, this is such an important question because not every body reacts the same way, and hydration isn't one size fits all. If someone has kidney issues, severe electrolyte imbalance, or is on medication that affect minerals, it's definitely worth talking to a doctor first before switching to any high pH or ionized water. For everyone else, the main thing is don't go from 0 to 100 overnight. If you've been drinking tap or bottled water your whole life, suddenly introducing super alkaline water can be a bit of a shock to your system. So you may feel some slight detox effects. So it's not that anyone can't drink it. It's just that your body needs time to recalibrate. You wouldn't start a new workout by lifting the heaviest weights on day one. It's the same thing here.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Thank you for really diving into that, because I think a lot of us really want to go from 0 to 1,000. You know what I mean? And we want those overnight results, and understanding we've been living in our bodies for some of us 30 decades, 40 decades, 50 decades. So, doing those routines over and over again for all these years incorrectly, to then realize, hey, this is actually the smarter way or the more safer route for us to actually get these benefits that we're looking for. We need to unlearn these bad behaviors to then input these new ones. And that does take time. So you're not going to overnight have a six pack. I mean, unless you go and get surgery in some other country or something like that, but we can't guarantee that, right? So friends listening to this episode, I want you guys to know Kim and I are not doctors. We are not certified physicians or anything of that sort. We are just knowledgeable in our skill sets of what we do every single day with our businesses. So understand, if you have more medical questions in that aspect, please reach out and talk to your physician and see if this is the absolute correct path for you, along with everything else that we're told in our life. Okay. So Kim, I'm going to go ahead and give the last question that I have to get ready to kind of close this episode up for us, because you have given me so much of your time up until this point. So thank you so much with your busy schedule and squeezing me in. Guys, friends, understand Kim is so busy with her business. So grateful and thankful. Just want to throw that out there for everyone listening. But the skill set and the knowledge is absolutely phenomenal. So I had to fight tooth and nail to get her on this podcast. And I'm so glad that I did. And she's on here. Kim, to kind of finish off my series and pick your brain, give the audience a simple hydration framework they can actually follow without becoming weird about it.
For sure, because honestly, hydration shouldn't feel like a full-time job. Here's the framework that I use for myself and I teach our new partners. So start your morning with water before coffee. Think of it as waking up your cells before you wake up your brain. You're priming the engine. Sip consistently, don't chug it occasionally. Hydration is about steady flow, not gigantic gulps when you remember. And add minerals and electrolytes as needed. If you sweat, work out, or drink a lot of caffeine, it helps your body absorb what you're drinking. And quality over quantity. It's not about forcing 3 liters down. It's about water that your body can actually use. So if you remember nothing else, it's this: drink better water more consistently with more intention.
I love that because like we always say, right, Kim? Because consistency beats perfection. That's one of our statements. So, wow, that was so much information, but I'm just so blown away with the knowledge and just understanding the difference just in our water. You know, we talk about food and, you know, we have so many phenomenal nutritionists in our world and our doctors and our physicians that we have that educate us when it comes to our nutrients and our micros and all of the things to input in our body. But no one really sits us down to talk about hydration and literally what gets our engines going in our cells and what literally hits our mitochondria to really get our bodies going in motion. It's just not something you hear so much about. So again, thank you so much for jumping on the episode this morning with me and covering this piece with me to kind of educate our world and all of our friends all over the world. And friends listening to the Warriors Haven today, here's the takeaway. If your energy is low, your workouts feel harder than they should, and you're doing everything right, or we feel like we're doing everything right, stop blaming motivation. Start auditing your inputs. Hydration, it's not sexy. It's not supposed to be sexy, but it's foundational. So, Kim, do you have any final closing remarks that you would love to leave the Warriors Hayden audience with?
Yeah, honestly, I just feel so grateful. Thank you so much to the Warriors Haven and you, amazing Jay, for having me. And if something in this chat lit a fire in you, maybe you're realizing it's not just about what's in your glass, but about what's possible for your life, then this is your sign. I don't talk about the water much online, but what I do talk about is the business opportunity behind it, how everyday people are breaking free from their 9 to 5, their corporate, the overworked nurse, the long construction hours, the stay-at-home mom. People are creating freedom, purpose, and income by sharing something that genuinely changes lives. So if you're curious whether you want to experience the water or you're ready to explore the business side, come find me on Instagram at itsme.kimmyb and send me a DM that says freedom or water or whatever you want. Just throw a word in there and I will happily respond.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So the business opportunity. So for all you athletes that are gym owners or have any type of fitness or kind of that background in healthcare, you should probably be one of the ones jumping in Kim's DM on Instagram. Like she said, it's me.kimmyb on Instagram and really be picking her brain because I mean, I got a lot out of this episode, and there's so much more that I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface. So Kim, we're gonna have to like seriously do another like follow up on this probably towards the end of the year, because things change all the time, and new things come out all the time. So we're gonna have to circle back again on this topic towards the end of the year, and I think it'll be so fun. But even the business opportunity of it, like you said, for the single mom, or that household that might be wanting to add on something to their normal routine to give them that financial freedom or that time that they might be looking for. Thank you for putting that in there and bringing that to our attention. So again, if that's something people would be interested in, go ahead. I'm going to put that in our notes as well, so people can click on that, find you on Instagram, and send you that DM. Like Kim said, type in the word water or hydration or freedom or help me or anything of that sort, and she'll go ahead and respond. Thank you so much, Kim, to have you and just your entire team also on this podcast today. If this episode, friends, made you rethink your water, oh, I know it did me for sure. Kim, thank you again to Kangen, to everything you guys do day in and day out. And I hope to see you and the rest of the team in the upcoming months, maybe closing out the year with me again on the Warriors Haven. And to everyone else here on the Warriors Haven, you know how we close this out. Hi, friend. Thanks for tuning into the Warriors Haven podcast, where we turn discipline into freedom and help you build the body, mindset, and lifestyle you deserve. If today's episode fired you up or gave you just that little push you needed, don't stop here. Head on over to thewarriorshaven.com, where you'll find details on how to jumpstart the next version of you. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself every single day. So until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and stay ready. I'm Jaisha Sutherland, and you're listening to the Warriors Haven podcast.